You know that feeling, right? That gut feeling? It's like this mysterious hunch that just pops into your head out of nowhere. Is it some kind of magic? Or is there some real science behind it? Well, today, we're going to unlock the secrets of your intuition.
Just think about it for a second. That sudden feeling you should slow down when you're driving, right before you see a deer on the road, or that sense that a new job offer is the right move, even if the salary isn't perfect. Maybe it's just a feeling that you can really trust someone you've just met. This isn't just a weird quirk, it's a fundamental part of how your brain is wired.
So, what if I told you that feeling isn't some mystical force from the universe? Nope. It's your brain, that incredible supercomputer in your skull, sending you these subtle but really powerful signals. Think of it like a biological GPS, built from every single thing you've ever experienced, trying to guide you before your conscious mind even has a chance to catch up.
Okay, so let's try and decode this hidden signal. We're going to pull back the curtain and see what's actually going on inside your head when that gut feeling kicks in. And believe it or not, the science on this is pretty clear. A 2021 Stanford study in Nature Neuroscience basically confirmed that intuition is just your brain doing lightning-fast, unconscious data processing. It scans literally thousands of your past experiences, looking for patterns, to give you a feeling, like a little nudge, and what it calculates is the right direction.
And this isn't just happening randomly all over your brain. It's a very specific network. It's kind of like a two-person team. First up, you've got the amygdala, which is your emotional command center. It flags situations that have some kind of emotional importance. Then you've got the insula, and its job is to read your internal body signals, your heart rate, that knot in your stomach. When those two work together, boom, they create that physical feeling we call a gut feeling.
Okay, but here's the really tricky part, and this is absolutely crucial. Our brains are also loaded with all these mental shortcuts, these cognitive biases. So the big question is, how do you know if you're hearing a true intuitive signal or if you're just falling into a mental trap?
For instance, let's say you meet someone and you instantly feel like you can't trust them. Is that your intuition? Or could it be a bias, like something called the availability heuristic? That's just a fancy term for a mental shortcut where your brain grabs the easiest, most memorable example it has. Maybe this new person just reminds you of someone from your past who wasn't so great. Telling those two signals apart, that's the whole game.
And the main difference really comes down to how it feels. True intuition, it's usually calm. It brings this sense of clarity, like a quiet knowing. A bias, on the other hand, that's usually loud. It feels like fear or anxiety or tension. It's often driven by a really strong desire for something or an old fear, not a quiet sense of what's true.
To really understand what's at stake here in the real world, let's look at a pretty intense story from Professor Khalid Dakruk. He found out firsthand what the consequences of this can be.
So picture this. He's working his shift in the hospital, and he's looking at a patient whose vital signs are all totally normal. On paper, everything looks fine, but he just had this nagging feeling, this quiet little alarm bell going off in his head, telling him that something was seriously wrong.
He talked himself out of it. He told himself, no, stick to the data. The charts say he's fine. But 6 hours later, that patient went into shock. His intuition, that super fast, unconscious processing of tiny little cues he couldn't even name, it had been right all along. It had warned him, but he didn't listen.
And that's really the crucial point here. Intuition is almost never a loud, screaming voice in your head. It's a whisper. It's this incredibly subtle signal that you have to learn to tune into, and that means you have to quiet all the other noise of fear and doubt.
So, if intuition is just a whisper, how in the world do you get better at actually hearing it? All right, let's talk about the practical neural tools you can start using to tune in and basically activate that built-in GPS of yours. It really boils down to 3 simple, totally doable steps. And these aren't just abstract ideas. These are actual exercises you can do to train your brain to get way better at recognizing and trusting its own signals. First up is mindfulness. And this isn't just about relaxing or clearing your mind. Get this, a 2024 study showed that just 10 minutes of mindfulness a day can increase the activity in your insula, remember the body signal reader, by a whopping 27%. So you're not just feeling calmer, you are literally building a more sensitive gut feeling detector inside your own brain.
Okay, step 2, start a reflection journal. Seriously. At the end of the day, just jot down a few key decisions you made. But here's the important part. Write down what you felt right before you made them. Was it a calm feeling? Was it tense and anxious?
Over time, you'll start to see the patterns, and you'll be training your brain to know what your true intuition actually feels like.
And finally, my personal favorite, the 3-second rule. Before you make any decision, whether it's big or small, just stop, pause for 3 seconds. And in that pause, ask yourself one simple question. Is this feeling calm, or is it being driven by fear? That tiny little break is often all you need to separate the signal from all the noise.
At the end of the day, your intuition is a powerful science-backed tool. This isn't about throwing logic out the window, not at all. It's about combining logic with a deeper, faster kind of intelligence that you already have. Your brain knows so much more than your conscious mind can even begin to process.
The system is already there. It's already working for you, right now, in the background. So the only real question left is, are you ready to quiet the noise and finally start listening?